Hello, hello everyone. Let's just join this Arena Kings thing. Oh my god, some GMs are playing in. Ooh, this is a good one today. Ooh. Oh my god!
What's good?
Brethren. What is going on? First game. First game. First game clutch. What is going on right now? Hello everyone. Welcome to the stream. Did not expect this right here. Hope you guys are doing well. Right, this isn't good. I'm supposed to play G5 here. My pardons. My pardons. Okay. Let's go bishop here. D5. 97. Trying to look only at their moves. What are you doing? What are you trying to do to me? Okay. What else are you trying to do? I'm trying something like this. I know that it was a bad bishop of theirs, but I like these bishop b6 things. If I'm being honest. If I'm being honest. Yeah, good. Move away. Move away. Do we have knight g4 things? Jeez, we're gonna go for it. Shut up. It's a man. It's a bad man. Queen e1 g5. Straight up. What's up, Gui? How you guys doing? First game we hit a GM. Now. Sacking the exchange, are we? Okay, I'll do it. I'll do it. I will do it. Okay. This b4 and bishop on b6, c5. I don't like. Okay, let's do this. We don't have much time, but we're playing a GM, so. You gotta take the time to survive, you know what I'm saying? I'm calculating b4 and bishop here. I think it's I. No, this is a blitz game. This is a blitz game. This is Arena Kings right now. Here's pretty much forced. c5 queen here. And I think we win this pawn. Oh, d6. Kind of threatening d6 here. c5 queen here. If I take c5. 20 seconds left. We gotta move. Okay, let's do this. And queen c6. Fine. We're equal now, but I have less time, obviously. Aye. No, this is over. Okay, GG's. Okay. This is the brief recap of this game. What were my mistakes? When did I go wrong? I played a GM that's 2700 named Mert Erdogdu, exactly, from Turkey. And in this King's Gambit, I played this counter gambit here, takes, threatening queen h4, so they must go knight f3, and here I go bishop d6. d4, and now c6. A bit better is knight f6, and also I read that there are plans with g5 here to defend this. Play h6 and then knight f6 to really consolidate this pawn on f4. c6 though, common concept in this opening, and now c4. And here I do my first mistake, which is knight f6. In fact, here black have a really nice following number of moves. Bishop g4. These are the first lines of the engine here. Bishop e2, bishop takes to secure this h4 square. Bishop takes, and now queen h4 check. King f1, and now we castle, and black has a small edge in this position. Fascinating. I love the black pieces, especially that king is just out in the open, and this is super playable for black. But instead, I didn't go for this at all. I just went for simple development and, okay, bishop g4 now, but now it's closed off to the queen h4 idea, so it doesn't really make sense. Bishop e2 and castles. I just developed in castles. I don't know why castles is a great move here. Don't ask. Castle's back, and now I go bishop c7. What I'm doing here, which is why it's dubious, because it's just really one threat that's a simple and dumb threat, is I'm threatening to take here on f3. And after bishop takes, or rook takes, or pawn takes, anything takes back, and I take back on d4, because this knight defends d4, right? So I take off the defender, remove the defender, and we take on d4. Though, it's a really obvious threat, and it's just met with d5, which is an accelerating move for the white pieces, tempo move for the white pieces, and just overall making my pieces worse in this position. Lower space, this knight has to make a maneuver to go to the other side of the board, and I don't like its chances on that side. Knight d4, okay, kind of forcing this trade unless I want to bring my bishop back to c8 or d7. I don't want to do that. So we trade, and I open up this diagonal. I really like this, and on king h1, I actually do win the exchange. My opponent played fabulous, by the way. This is like the second best continuation, second to knight d4. But winning the exchange is not like the absolute worst thing that can happen for my opponent. You see, my opponent has something called compensation. And compensation occurs when you have good standing on the board for the material loss that compensates for that material loss. And so here, white has a pawn for down the exchange. So they have, I think it's a knight and a pawn for a rook. And along with that is the compensation of that space of those active pieces. This bishop is not that active, but you'll see in the game how these active pieces really play a good role for them. Queen b6, I find after like 25 seconds, I really had no clue where to put this bishop. Literally, queen b6 is the only like drawing move here. On bishop b6, I saw this during the game, and you might have heard me say it. It's ugly. c5, and if I go bishop a5, just you see white space is amazing. I'm seeing plans with attacking on the king side here, and I don't like it at all. And on bishop c7, well, there's just a little forky fork, and I lose a piece. So I didn't like any of these options. And so here, queen b6, it took me a while to find, but it's the only saving move. Knight d3, bishop d4, and now d6. And here, I should have played one move that makes my position way better than the other. So knight f5 is not too good, and knight g6 is amazing. Knight g6 is an amazing move. And so I don't know specifically why, but I think it has to do with the fact that we're gonna play bishop e5, so we're defending that e5 square, and this bishop e5 can levy some good attacks on this d6 square, and if ever c5, queen c6. Let's give an example. Knight f4, bishop e5, and so now we're just putting some pressure. And on c5 here, I think I have queen b4. And again, going on this back rank, so white doesn't have some nice things with the queen moves up and things like this, because I have queen f1 checkmate with mine. And so here we're just attacking this knight twice. If knight takes, f takes, and we're threatening this checkmate here on f1, and the position looks nice. Though a line like that is very counterintuitive, because it basically says to me, you have to give up space, give up tempo, let the opponent gain space, but they're biting more than they can chew, basically. And that's very hard to read as a chess player. So I go knight f5, attacking the weakness d6 here. And so my opponent strikes back with queen f3. Like, again, this is like a sensational find, because the most wanted move is c5, defending this pawn and attacking my queen, but this is bad to queen c6. In fact, the computer gives me -2 in this position. Very, very good for black. And so after queen g4, defending this knight, right? This is a defensive move, not an attacking move. I have rook ae8, and I'm just pressuring this knight that's has to defend c5, and eventually this will break off. And once c5 falls, d6 most certainly does too. But here knight f3, which attacks my knight first and doesn't defend d6, and I simply don't know where to put my knight. The best solution would have been knight h4, very counterintuitive. Knight on the rim is dim, as we know, right? So knight h4, I looked at queen g4 things. I really hated it because maybe I had to go back to g6 and I lose tempo, and my opponent has a lot of initiative. Building that up as a GM is really uncertain for me. So I go knight takes d6. Now I know I'm giving back the piece, but I did it in a wrong way. I should have given back the piece while striking on c5, taking 2 pawns for that knight and bishop, and that would have been a better exchange of material here. Instead, I give a piece this way, and this queen c6 cost me the game. Of course, I have 20 seconds left here. It's bad quality moves starting from now. But all to say, when we get into this endgame and they have 2 knights against a pawn and a rook, they have already secured this in the bag because they have a really nice pawn on c5, and their knight is an octopus knight. The octopus knight in chess is a knight that is a vampire sucking out the blood of these key squares for the rooks. So the rooks are getting the blood sucked out of them while attacking these 7 rank squares, notably this b7 pawn, which became weak and ultimately cost me the game material-wise, and as well defending these squares in the back of them. 8 tentacles makes for an octopus, and so after b6, c6, really good move, c7, c8, and it's completely over. I lost a few moves later, but really I just played on too far in, and this is completely winning. GG's to my opponent. I have another game right after this that was played literally right after this against a WCM. If you want to watch that, I really played well against a 2180 titled player, and it was a beautiful mate at the end, so I hope you enjoy that second part of this video. But it's a very strong Arena Kings today. What's up, Matt? Happy Valentine's Day to you too. Little tardy happy Valentine's Day. How are you guys doing? I didn't stream yesterday because I streamed Monday. Milyash, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome, welcome. We're here for scalping, everyone. Getting those titled players to confess their biggest points. Hey Zach, love your chess content. Thank you so much, Cha. Appreciate you. Gonna make this knight back down. Aggressive chess. That gem pumped me up. But it's the resources they find, you know? It's crazy. To me, it's absolutely marvelous. Gotta defend g5. Important pawn. What's up, Bloody Queen? Arena Kings is a tournament that's held every Wednesday, in which it's a tournament for streamers, basically. Ooh. Threatening g6 here. And on g6 I would take, and f takes, and queen f3. And bishop here. Bishop here. What do we do then? Maybe we just do queen f3 now, and then we're threatening to take. Imagine, because now we're taking up this e6 square now. That's great. That's great thinking, actually. Yeah, this is fine. Oh, they can take, huh? No, they can't. No, they can. Maybe they can. Okay, I'll do check first, because if I do this, it's check here, which hurts. It hurts the company. We're threatening this. Bishop e7, yes. And this. This looks good for white. I mean, the king is not castled. My king is not safe necessarily, but it's better than theirs. And here I get some tempi. A little tempo. I think f6 would save them. Should we do f6 ourselves? Yeah, now this knight is murdered. The crime scene of the century. My bishop cannot work any other place. Maybe, oh, maybe on g3. This pawn is so weak. If we go bishop g3, yes. I don't like white. I don't like black here. Yeah. How you guys doing? You guys got a good Valentine's Day yesterday.
I'm banking on bishop g3 here. This knight is trapped. Trapped knight. It's not attacked, but it's trapped. Oh, I bet we could do something like this too. I bet that would be winning too. I like this bishop g3. Sherlock, I really do. Yeah, let's fight this file. I don't like rook d4 threats here. So we're just gonna fight it. As long as I trade the pieces that are active of theirs against my, you know, pretty active pieces as well, the weak pieces will remain. And here, like, the rook is trapped as well. I'm threatening some checks here. I think just check, right? Seals it right up. Seals it right up, mister. Really, no resignation, okay. Probably what my last opponent told me. This is over. You can pre-move the mate. Okay, good stuff.